Milo, future self.
Dear future self.
Dear future Madison.
Dear future self.
Wache, future self.
Dear future me.
Dear future self.
I wonder if you can hear me, or if you can hear me, if you're really listening.
I hope that you, future me, are able to do what I seemingly can't right now.
Always stay connected to roots and native language.
Just remember to keep pushing through the tough times and never give up.
I hope I could be a role model for other youth to try new things and enjoy positive experiences.
Let your writing be the guiding thread through the uncertain narrative that is life.
In our society, my hope is that we can separate ourselves from the ideas of others.
Don't be too hard on yourself and don't ever stop drawing.
I can be creative any way I choose.
I've always loved telling stories. It's a wonderful thing to bring life to something seemingly out of thin air. The power of language inspired me to write about my own journey through the Ontario school system with a significant learning disability in reading and math. My piece, The Weakness in Words, is a visual representation of what words look like to me. I have dyslexia, and I've had it all my life.
I think that the beautiful thing about Milo's work is they looked at the theme of the awards this year, the power of language, and really decided to focus in on the antithesis of that in their submission of The Weakness of Words. In the submission, Milo was able to connect with personal experience in terms of the journey that they've taken and the power that they have in language, although there might be weakness in words.
One of my biggest inspirations for this piece is my grandpa, who also struggled through school for a lack of recognition for a learning disability. He is one of the strongest people I've ever met, and he is also a very promising writer. Winning this achievement is ironic. I won for my writing when almost every word in my piece is misspelled. I didn't even misspell things on purpose, I just turned off autocorrect.
I think the really cool thing for Milo winning this award is that it acknowledges Milo's journey from the times that they had in elementary school till now, and really affirms the journey that they've taken.
This experience has taught me that it doesn't matter how well you do in school. For too long, I was told that I wasn't trying hard enough, when in reality it was because school was not set up to accommodate those with different learning styles. Education is the most important thing in life. But school lacks the necessary component of education, and that is to help everyone succeed. Dear future me, I wonder if you can hear me, or if you can hear me, if you're really listening. Don't forget what it was like when we started writing. Don't throw away our notebooks filled to the brim with ramblings and ideas yet to be realized. Don't disregard the stories that have come to you in search of life. I want you to remember how it felt for the first time. It was realizing you are more than a body, more than your own mind. It was fire that spilled from the heart as words took hold. May that fire never die. Sincerely, your past self.
I started doing art when I was very little. Back when I was maybe 3 or 4, I started drawing this train. I was really obsessed with drawing this train. It was like kind of in perspective, and I just kept on drawing it over and over. But the praise that I often received kept me going.
I think what makes Ryan unique is actually his ability to be a self-starter. He is always prepared for class. He always goes above and beyond in the projects that he does in terms of planning and execution. That's evident in the artwork that he submitted.
The main theme of this artwork is misinformation, which is unfortunately an aspect of communication and language that is inescapable.
One of the qualities in the artwork is his technical skill. So he's already come to grade 9 with a lot of practice under his belt. So it's a really technically strong drawing, and you can see that it's highly detailed, there's a lot going on, but everything is still clear and focused.
I did want to highlight the dangers of misinformation because I think ignorance is one of the most dangerous things that plague our society. I had a lot of mentors over the years. I particularly appreciate the teachers I had at my old middle school, Bloor Lee. They were so nice to me, and They were inspiring and they gave me confidence. Hopefully, this is something that is a sign of perhaps more exciting things to come, because I kind of live with a constant anxiety that I'll live a boring life, and that is really something that will give me some sort of reassurance. I feel time slipping through my fingers and me too weak to close the gaps between who I am right now and who I hope to be. I hope that you, future me, are able to do what I seemingly can't right now. I hope you are more responsible, thoughtful, and caring, both to yourself and those who you love. I hope that you discover the true breadth of what this world has to offer.
I would say I first became interested in especially writing and poetry in around grade 6, which is when I started writing poems for like small school assignments, and I got a lot of encouragement from teachers, especially peers. For this competition, I wrote a poem called The Unchanging Power of Language. The title really reflects what's in my poem. The poem is basically a reflection of me and my experiences being bilingual. Tamil is my first language, and English I like to consider it a second language. I did learn it very early on though. English is open and broad, while Tamil connects to my heart. No matter how much it becomes twisted, its sweetness remains unlimited. It brings you home and it's got magical power. It hits differently as it sounds like no other.
When I first read it, it was very apparent. Her voice was very clear, and I got a sense of the emotional impact of the piece. And sort of the idea, the emotional line was her being sort of stuck between these two worlds, and her home language being like a tether to that special home life.
Language will always have the same meaning and will always have the same power, even if it sounds different and the words are different and it changes over time. To actually be recognized like officially by like OSSTF, I think it's a whole different level.
It's quite an honor and a recognition, and so it gives her some external validation that what she's doing, she has a talent for, and that she is quite capable.
It's important to put yourself out there and try new things and to take risks. It's important to do that. So dear future self, I hope that when you're reading this, you are shaking your head, wishing you could go back in time to tell me that there's a bright and eventful future ahead. I want you to know that no matter what situation you are in, hard work and determination will always get you through to your dreams. Take risks, be confident, and never stop learning. But remember, no matter where you are, always stay connected to your roots and native language.
I find that what's most important when writing is being able to think critically and to find the ideas that are going to move an audience. My piece is about the power of words. Oftentimes, we don't realize how hurtful our words can be and the impact that they can have on other people. And I know that I've been hurt by words many times, and I imagine that I've hurt other people through them too, unfortunately. We can overcome that, and we shouldn't be necessarily tied to words, even though they're very powerful.
What struck me most, perhaps, or at first, was the evocative use of language that really brought to life the feeling of somebody who is feeling the impact of words and that may be directed at them. Daria is unbelievably articulate and thoughtful in the way that she approaches the questions that we deal with in the competition and in just our general discussions. She is a superior critical thinker.
Art is all around you. You grow up with it and you start consuming it and seeing how beautiful it is and how moving other people's art can be, and you start thinking, wow, I'd love to reproduce that. I'd love to be able to be that for someone else.
Using words to be an upstander, recognizing the power of words to have an impact on our experience and how we interact with other human beings is so important.
There's never any harm in trying. If you attempt to do something because you love it and you do win, that's absolutely wonderful. But even if you don't, you've gained something from the simple fact that you've written, for example, like your writing skills have gotten better, or you've simply been able to express your thoughts and do something that you love. And I think that's what's most important at the end of the day. Dear future self, I wonder, do you still remember the Daria of 2024? The young girl who found an avenue for self-expression in the ink of a pen, who tried to weave words into wisdom, whose thoughts best belong between the lines of a page. Never lose track of the power that words hold, their ability to damage and wound, sure, but also to inform, influence, and inspire. Let your writing be the guiding thread through the uncertain narrative that is life. Wishing you the best, the Daria of 2024.
Working with someone with special needs inspired my form of art.
So Maddie's work, working with deaf-blind students, was a plasticine work that she made. She loves doing plasticine stuff, where it was a little miniature version of her, a little miniature version of another student who was deaf and blind. It was made of an experience where they got to know each other quite well, and how Maddie felt learning how to communicate with somebody with those special needs.
It means a lot to me to be honored to show off some artwork that really inspired me to enter it into the competition.
Maddie is super unique. One of the first people you'll see as you walk into the building. She's always got a big smile on her face, and she's so kind. She will ask you how you're doing. She'll check in on pretty much everyone in the building as she comes into school.
Feel free to fulfill your dreams however you choose. You just gotta take it one little baby step at a time.
Being able to express yourself as a student is so important, especially in high school. Students are going through a lot. Having a chance to channel that and make stuff and somehow get those feelings out is just so beneficial.
Winning the award helped me with being confident in my creativity and that I can be creative any way I choose. The project was about communication. I thought if I put my experience out there, I could show the world.
Dear future Madison, this is my last year of high school and I'm graduating in June. I am excited to move on to the next era of my life. In my future job, I want the opportunity to interact and be able to help other people. I would also love to have a gallery room to display my sculptures. I am excited for the future, but right now I'm focusing on the gift of today. That's why they call it the present day.
My art piece, From Letters to Likes, it kind of represents how language has changed throughout the years. I kind of wanted to demonstrate how language has evolved throughout time, incorporating historical buildings mixed with modern ones in the background.
You do see in the piece a black and white image that represents the past, and it's collaged onto the actual paper. And there's a juxtaposition between the past and the present. I just felt that whole idea of the communication of language was well represented.
I want the piece to kind of represent how we need to learn and grow from our history to kind of impact our lives today.
I just find Emma a very kind individual. She gets along with all of her peers. She's very giving. She's very creative, of course, and she also, I think, is very much so respected by all her peers for who she is.
Being recognized for such an incredible award, it feels, honestly, I'm starstruck, because when I received the phone call, I didn't realize I won, and then hearing the words was incredible personally. Knowing that my hard work was acknowledged, it makes me feel like it was all worthwhile.
I think what this award does is it also allows our students to not only move forward with their own creativity and education, but at the same time to also contribute to our society.
Looking back at high school, throughout the years, I have learned that Being perfect isn't everything. Learning and growing from the imperfections is what truly allows me to learn and develop throughout not only my artistic journey but also my life. Hello, future self. As I sit here reflecting on the day I discovered I received the Student Achievement Award, I can't help but feel an immense sense of gratitude and accomplishment. I hope one day I will accomplish my dream of teaching English around the world, spreading positivity and learning many new things. Although the road will be bumpy, I believe that knowing there is light at the end of the path is an important reminder that no matter how hard life can be, one must persevere to reach our goals. So, to my future self, just remember to keep pushing through the tough times and never give up.
My passion for art began when I was in grade 5. I found that whenever I took the time to draw something, I was able to express things that I had a hard time talking about. And my friends and my teachers definitely motivated me to pursue art.
Some of Lena's unique qualities are, first, I would say her quiet confidence. She's quiet and shy, but when it comes to her artwork, she has a confidence in her ideas, and her ideas are very creative. And her art skill is good. She's also very, very, very hardworking. She's really easy to teach, open to criticism and critique, and always does that last step where she does the editing herself and comes to you with a polished looking artwork, which is really nice to see, especially in a younger student.
My past experiences inspired me to create this work. So I had a lot of trouble communicating in the past. However, by writing my thoughts out onto paper, I was able to find my voice inside, and I decided to combine my previous passion, which was writing, and combine it with my current passion, which is art.
As an art teacher, I believe that artistic expression is important for everyone. What I see is specifically with Lena is because she tends to be quiet, I see a whole different side of her when she shows me her art. I really feel that this will be a really great way for Lena to explore the world and introduce herself to the world in a way that's not necessarily verbal. Because she's got such great ideas to share, I think she will do really great artwork going forward.
I hope that viewers will realize that there are many ways to communicate, and it's not all just about speaking verbally. Dear future me, how are you doing? Remember when you won the OSSTF Student Achievement Awards back in 2024? It was an incredible experience, wasn't it? Let's look back at it. I was super nervous to put my video and art out there for people to see because I've always struggled with facing new challenges. However, this contest was an opportunity to showcase my art and to also be recognized for the story that my art told. Don't be too hard on yourself, and don't ever stop drawing, because I know that one day you will be able to create a masterpiece that will change people's lives. Always remember to be thankful for Miss Jeffrey, because she's an amazing teacher who has supported me throughout my art journey. I hope that you'll be doing something that you enjoy in the future as well, because your happiness is more important than people's expectations.
Shortly after I came here, I heard the words impact and intent together, and they really resonated with me. I couldn't get those words out of my head, and it eventually turned into the first verse of my poem. I wrote my poem when I first got to Pine River. It was, I'd say, the start of my therapeutic process here. It was really a way for me to express my feelings about certain experiences I had growing up in my adolescence. It really means using my voice and the courage it took to do that.
Callie is a humble yet self-assured student. When I mentioned the OSSTF Student Achievement Awards, she was very keen and eager to submit her poem, even though she was a new student to our class. I think it's this quiet confidence that makes Callie unique.
My hope is that viewers take away the significance of their impact and intent, and that despite their best intentions, it might always be their impact on others. Being awarded this award really means the power I can take back when I use my voice, and also giving others a chance to listen to what I have to say. It really did inspire me to put my feelings on paper and use my voice and express how I felt.
Callie demonstrated so much courage in her willingness to be transparent and vulnerable in her work. I think it's Callie's commitment to her authentic experience that makes her poem exceptional. Callie has such a bright future, and she can do anything she sets her mind to. This award is a catalyst for her creative expression and a portal to her growth as a student and a young adult. This is just the beginning for Callie.
Winning this award has really taught me the power I can take back when I use my voice and how I can have an impact on others. Dear future self, I'm writing this letter after receiving a Student Achievement Award for my poem, Enough. When I wrote the poem, I needed to express my feelings about my formative experiences growing up. I struggled to use my voice in the past and knew that this poem was a way to start. I want people to hear and reflect on the idea of impact and intent, which is why I entered my poem in the contest. I thought about the impact I want to make and how I want to use my voice. Since receiving the award, I have been truly and authentically content in my relationship with myself, and I am welcoming growth. In our society, my hope is that we can separate ourselves from the ideas of others, whether they are about our weight, gender, age, race, sexual orientation, or differing abilities. That is the future I want to see. Sincerely, Callie Chisholm.
When it's spring in the Moose River, beluga whales sometimes come down the river, and you'll see them if you're lucky, or there'll be seals that come down to the river and just lay on the docks or on the sandbars. And I wanted to show that into my ribbon skirt and represent more about where I'm from. My artwork is a ribbon skirt. I wanted to make an artwork connecting to my Indigenous identity.
Abigail created a traditional ribbon skirt. She designed the ribbon skirt using fabric with whales and seaweed, inspired by her memories of the place where she grew up. She incorporated her love of fashion and traditional beliefs into her design, and I think that's why she won this award. Abigail is extremely hardworking and has great attention to detail.
Art has always been a big interest of mine since I was young. My grandparents were never able to express their Indigenous identity.
It's important for students to express themselves using traditional medium because there are so many rich cultural experiences in the North.
Like, my parents and family and grandparents have been really telling me, and they've been comparing me to my great-granny. Oh my God, I'm gonna cry. It really means a lot. It feels like starting a new journey of trying to reconnect to my Indigenous identity along with my family. This reward has really taught me if you really put your mind to it, you could really reach those goals. Wache future self. When I first received the call to inform me that I won the award, I was in disbelief because I didn't think my artwork would make it. My teachers would encourage me that my artwork was special. I was chosen to be in a local Indigenous fashion show as an Indigenous apparel here in Cochrane, being put on by the local Mushkegowuk Council. As time continues, I hope that these experiences, such as this Achievement Award, being crowned, playing sports, and being in a fashion show, all continue to have a positive impact on my life. I hope I could be a role model for other youth to try new things and enjoy positive experiences. There is a saying, res kids can do anything. Miigwech.
I hope that you discover the true breadth of what this world has to offer.
Although the road will be bumpy, I believe that knowing there is light at the end of the path is an important reminder that no matter how hard life can be, one must persevere to reach our goals.
Be confident and never stop learning.
Never lose track of the power that words hold.
May that fire never die. Sincerely, your past self.